Hi guys, how are you? I hope you guys are all doing well. So I have for you guys my second trimester recap. Well, I'm in my last trimester, but I'm coming towards the last few weeks, so there's literally not long left until baby girl's here, inshallah. So keep me in your prayers, you guys. By the way, the lighting is like going in and out, so please ignore that. But yeah, watching videos like this, like the first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, was so beneficial for me going through my pregnancy, because especially more so in my first trimester, because I don't know about everyone's like experience in the first trimester, but mine was actually horrendous. Even though I wasn't physically being sick, I literally felt sick all day, and I had the worst headaches I've ever had in my whole entire life. Yeah, it was bad. By the way, I already filmed a first trimester recap, so if you haven't watched that, I'll leave it linked somewhere up here on the eye or in the description box below. But this video is going to be a second trimester video, so buckle up, get yourself sorted, get yourself a drink, and let's start. Now, I went through some questions and I've just basically written down how I felt, all of that stuff, so I have it all written down in my phone, nice and organized. Okay, so first question is, how do you generally feel in the second trimester? Now guys, if you're watching this and you're in your first trimester, I feel for you, because the first trimester, it's just not the best, is it? It's really bad. But I promise you, if you're watching this and you're going through such a difficult time, I promise you the second trimester, inshallah, will be so much better. When people used to tell me, oh my god, you know, the second trimester you'll be absolutely fine, it's just a couple of more weeks and when you get to the second trimester you'll feel perfect. And when I was going through such a bad time in my first trimester, I didn't believe anyone. But I'm here to let you guys know that I promise you it is a fact. It's not a fact for everyone, unfortunately, but for the majority, the second trimester is a whole new different ball game. You just have so much more energy, you get your appetite back, you just feel normal, like just normal, but you're just carrying a bump. It's honestly so much better. The sickness more or less goes. Yeah, like I said, like you actually fancy food, you're actually hungry, and you just have more energy to do things around the house, and just like you just feel normal. And plus, you know, like you're just kind of like midway through your pregnancy and it's the best feeling ever. Okay, so next question is, what's the main symptom in your second trimester? Okay, so for me, sadly, I didn't just magically wake up one day and I was like, oh my god, it's my second trimester, I feel absolutely fine. It wasn't the case. It was more of a gradual thing. I would say like between week 14 and 16, that's when I started feeling okay. Like I remember like the first trimester, I used to have to kind of force myself to eat something because I just wasn't eating. I had no appetite whatsoever, and I just kind of had to force myself to have like a few things, even though I couldn't stomach it. I just felt like really sick. But it's so important to just have something to keep you going. But yeah, second trimester, I would say I started feeling okay from like week 14 to 16. That's when I had like more of an appetite. That's when I could like stomach things, and yeah, like the morning nausea kind of drifts away. Don't get me wrong, you'll get the odd day where you do feel a little bit sick, and that's just maybe your body just reminding you to actually eat, because probably you didn't eat much in the first trimester. So what I noticed with myself, so if I like woke up one day and I felt a little bit sick, I'll just suck on like a mint or sweet, and like a hard boiled sweet, and honestly it kind of get rid of it for me. Ignore my cat behind, he loves closing doors. I don't know why. He comes in the bedroom and he just like stands up and closes doors. Like, I don't know, he has like a little thing. It's weird. How much weight did you gain? Now guys, can you see this face? Like, my face has gone so round, so freaking round. And I've also, like, now I'm in my third trimester, which I'll do another video, by the way, recapping my third trimester, because girl, I got lots to tell you, lots. But I've definitely obviously gained weight, and that's so normal in your pregnancy. I haven't really kept a diary of how much weight I've gained like week by week, and I don't think I want to because I probably will freak myself out. But this is my first pregnancy, so I kind of was like, you know what, if I gain weight, it's fine, it's normal, it's just I'm growing a human inside me. I mean, of course it's going to happen. So I'm not too concerned about that just yet. Hopefully when baby girl's here, I'll go back to the gym and I'll get back into somewhat of a routine. But they generally say you should gain, like in your pregnancy, about from 12 to 14 pounds. That's what I wrote down, so I'm not exactly sure if that's correct. I've definitely gained weight. I definitely have the swollen jeans. My legs and my feet are so swollen, you guys. It's actually unreal. Like, I've noticed that more so in my third trimester, which again, I'll talk to you guys about that in another video. But your second trimester, guys, you literally look normal, you feel normal. Yes, you gain a few kgs here and there, but nothing like crazy. You basically bulk up in like the third trimester. I don't know about everyone, but it was definitely the case for me. The first trimester I lost weight. I actually lost a few kgs. In my second trimester, because I was eating, like I got my appetite back and I was eating, it was just normal. And then in my third trimester, girl, it's a whole new different story. Okay, next question is, have you gotten a name for baby girl? Yes we do. Funny enough, me and Adel, we always had this specific name in mind. We had two names, obviously, a name for a girl and a name for a boy, and we had this name in mind like years and years, and we always kind of we always plan, like if we ever did get pregnant, these are the names that we'd pick or we'd choose. When I got pregnant, you guys, it changed. So we have a different name for her. That will be revealed inshallah when she's here. I'll introduce you to her. I'll do like a little post or a little video introducing you to her, but for now I'm going to keep the name private, and it's special in my heart. So excited, you guys. Like, I've been carrying this human for nearly 9 months now, so yeah, it's crazy. Okay, any cravings? Now, I don't know about anyone else, but I have not had any cravings. The only thing I have noticed, I will say, is, I don't know if this is a myth or it's a fact, but they say if you're carrying a boy, you crave more like spicy, salty food. But if you're having a girl, you crave more sweet things. And I weirdly believe it, because I've just been like, I'm not craving, but I fancy a lot more like sweet things, especially after dinner. Like, we'll have dinner, we'll chill for a little bit, and then I'll be like, okay, what's for pudding? And that never used to be me. Like, I was very cautious about what I ate before, and I don't want to talk about that stuff because it's obviously, it can be alarming for people. But yeah, I was into my gym, I was into my fitness, and I was very cautious about what I ate. So I'd never be like, oh, I fancy like a waffle, or I fancy, you know, a scone or whatever. Like, I'd never be like that. But since I've been pregnant, yes, I've literally fancied something sweet after dinner every single day, and it's so bizarre. Also, the crazy thing is, you guys, throughout my pregnancy, again, I don't know about everyone else, I have had the worst gum bleeds ever. Like, every time I'd brush my teeth, my gums would bleed so much. It actually freaks me out, because I'd be like, oh my god, like, what's happening? Like, why is my mouth bleeding so much? And it's just horrible. It like leaves a nasty taste in your mouth. So if you've had that, let me know down below. But they do say in your pregnancy you need to go and see the dentist a lot more. Like, alhamdulillah, touch wood, I haven't needed to go to the dentist. The only thing I did need to do, I did speak to my dentist, because my dentist is actually my friend. I did speak to her, and I was like, is this normal? Why is my like gums bleeding so much? And also, your teeth are so sensitive, so freaking sensitive. So of course I had to change my toothpaste up, and I use Sensodyne, and you know what, it helps. It's not as sensitive anymore, and like the bleeding in my gums still is a thing, and apparently it goes after pregnancy, and I hope it does, because it's horrible. Like, every time I brush my teeth, I'm just like, oh my god. It's like a crime scene in my mouth, honestly. I'm not even being dramatic, but genuinely. Okay, another question is, have you felt baby move? Now, yes, of course, again, I keep on saying this, but I'm gonna keep repeating myself. It's different for everyone. Everyone's situation is different, but yes, I have felt baby girl move. In my second trimester, the beginning, I used to feel like little, like, ooh, something like just hit me in my belly, or like a little bubble, or a little, apparently it's supposed to be like a little butterfly feeling in your belly. But towards the end of your second trimester and the beginning of your third trimester, you will feel kicks, bumps, you'll feel all sorts, and it feels really bizarre when the baby like is like moving positions. Like you can really feel it and you're like what the hell is that? But it's nice and it's reassuring that you can feel the baby, and you know that the baby's okay and it's doing all right and it's actually, you know, healthy, and that's the most important thing. You'll also discover the sleeping patterns, which is so interesting. I've really noticed that now, like more than ever, like the sleeping patterns. So like she'll wake up at like 10 o'clock or 10:30, and then I'd feel her again about like 2:30, and then again at like 6. So like every 3 to 4 hours I'd wake up and I'd be like, ooh, like she's moving, or she's doing this, or she's doing that. So you'll definitely get a sleep, you'll definitely figure out her sleeping pattern, and apparently that is just a reminder for you, because you know the newborn stage, they literally wake up every 3 to 4 hours. So yeah, they're not hiding the fact that they're gonna annoy you for the first couple of weeks, and yeah, they're just letting you know. Birthing plan. Have you thought about labor? Now, in my second trimester, I'll be honest, I did not think about my labor. I didn't think about any of that, because I was just like, I still have time, you know, it'll be fine. Like, I think you think about it more so in your third trimester, because you're coming like towards the end, so it kind of, it's like reality kicking in. But second trimester, honestly, I didn't think about it as much. Like maybe if I had a conversation with someone and they're like, oh, so what's your thoughts, I'd think about it then. But generally I just wouldn't think about it. I'd be like, I don't want to think about it, it's just a bit too nerve-wracking for me just yet, you know. I still have time. But have I got a birthing plan? Actually, I do have a birthing plan, and I finished my antenatal classes. By the way, with antenatal classes, your midwife will basically tell you about these classes that you should go to, and honestly guys, I would 100% recommend doing them, because they're so beneficial and you learn so much. Like in my classes, my antenatal classes, I learned a lot, like things that I never thought was a thing is a thing. And also, we all have choices. Now when you go into the hospital blind, and if they ask you like, hey, do you want this, you're just gonna be like, yeah, give me whatever, because you're in pain. But you have choices, and you have different methods of pain relief that I didn't know about. Okay, I did not know about. And also the side effects behind them, again, that's a new one. I just thought they kind of all did the same thing, but it's not the case. So definitely do the antenatal classes if you're like in two minds and you're not too sure about it. I'd 100% recommend it, because it's so good. And also induction, you learn about induction, like, so if your baby hasn't come, they'll basically induce you. And again, there's 3 options. There's like so many options to get induced. I feel like for me, initially I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go into it blind, and it is what it is, and if it happens, so be it. But now that I did my antenatal classes, I am so thankful that I did, because I know my options now, and I know to speak up if I want something, because everyone's got choices. And you feel like, oh my god, like I'm going into hospital and I'm just going to do what the nurses and the midwives say. But no, you can speak up and you can actually ask for what you want. And I didn't think that was the case, but I've learned a lot, that's all I'm going to say. So if you're thinking about it, would 100% recommend doing it. And to answer your question, have you got a birthing plan? Yes, I do. I'll talk about it more so in my third trimester recap, because I feel like it's more appropriate to talk about it then, because it's more towards the end, because I've only just done mine. And so yeah, even though I'm like literally the last few weeks, I've literally just done mine recently. But for you, if you want to make a birthing plan and you want to think about it and write it down, then go ahead and do it. But for me, it was like more so I was like, oh, I'll think about it towards the end because I still have time. So okay, next question is, what's the best thing about being pregnant? I love this question. Okay, so like my whole life I've never really been maternal. Nieces and nephew came up to me, I'd give them a little kiss, a little cuddle, and then I'll just hand them back. I'm like, go back to mommy, because I just physically didn't know what to do with a kid. Like, I kind of still don't know, but you know what, I'm gonna have to learn. But like, yeah, I've never really had that feeling of like, oh my god, I love kids, I want kids so bad. Like, I've never had that until obviously I got pregnant and I'm carrying a child, and now I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so excited because that's gonna be my child. So I've definitely changed in that perspective, which is great because it's about time, girl, it's about time. But the best thing about being pregnant, I suppose, is feeling the baby kick, because I'm like, oh, like, it's so cute. And plus, like, the baby can hear your voice from like a certain week. I'm not exactly sure when, but the baby can start hearing your voice. So like, you should always, they say you should always speak to your bump, let your partner speak to the baby, read them a little nursery rhyme, read them a little book. They can actually like listen, and like they can recognize like your voices. And also light, they know when it's like light and dark. I think it's so cute that you, even though they're not here yet, you still have that little bond with them, and I think that's so special. And I've definitely noticed that, like, if my partner comes from work and he like is sitting there talking to me, like, she'll start kicking and I'm like, like, she knows daddy's home. And it's such a cute feeling, honestly. Okay, second trimester, did you experience any pains? Again, everyone's different, so I really can't speak on everyone's behalf, but for me, I'd get like an odd day where I'd have like a bad back. I'd be like, oh, you know what, I'm like in pain. But to be honest, like, it's just the odd day, because like I said, second trimester is a breathe, and everyone said that to me, and honestly, it's the truth. You just feel normal. You just carry on with your life like normal. You go out and just do normal things. You just feel like normal, fine. I feel like the pains come more so in your third trimester, and again, I'll talk more about that in my next video. But yeah, for me, I felt like more pains in my, like right now in my third trimester. Second trimester, I was absolutely fine, felt normal, did normal things, had more energy, shall we say. Yeah, so for me personally, I had no pains and aches and nothing like that, and alhamdulillah, it was great. The funny thing is, the longest trimester for me was my first trimester. I think it's because obviously I was going through such a difficult time, and I was literally counting down the hours and the days. So for me, that my pregnancy felt so long in my second trimester. But now that I'm in my third trimester, I feel like it's going by so quick. Like, week by week is just going by so freaking quick, and I'm like, oh my god. Like, every single person I meet, they're like, oh my god, your pregnancy went so fast. Like, I can't believe how quick your pregnancy is going. And I'm like, really? But I kind of get it now, because literally the first trimester, because this is my first child, going through it, I was like literally counting down the hours and the days and all of that stuff, because I was just like, I want to get out of this, I hate this so much. And then the second trimester comes and you're like, ah, I feel like a different person, I feel normal, who would have thought? And then the third trimester hits you and you're like, anyways guys, that is my second trimester recap. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, don't forget to give me a massive thumbs up, and stay tuned because we have the third trimester coming up, and trust me, you're gonna want to watch it. That's all I'm gonna say. I shall see you guys really soon, and until then,